response to my video introducing AI Barbara Lee calling for the NFL to return to Oakland. There have been some interesting developments since I released and distributed that video that I cannot talk about. What I want to address right now is a kind of exchange I think is worth sharing that occurred on Facebook here uh, after I posted about the introduction of AI Barbara Lee, Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee, and it's by a gentleman by the name of Maurice Greer, who uh, took issue with my focus on the NFL, saying that it's time to stop looking backward and looking forward, and say we should look at soccer instead and refer to the current organization that's operational. Well, truth be told, the Oakland Roots are a great team, but they're also new, and they are in a league that is equally new and compared to the National Football League, microscopically smaller. As I said or wrote to Mr. Greer, by the way, Maurice, are you any relation to Michael Greer, my friend from Skyline High School, class of '80? At any rate, as I said to Mr. Greer, the problem we face as a city is that we've lost, as you know, a record number of large major sports teams in record time. Three in less than 10 years. A lot of people have just talked about that, but they haven't talked about the economic impact of that. I'll explain what it is in very layperson's terms. It means the loss of businesses that have brought visitors to Oakland, which over the decades have demanded new hotels. Remember, at one point, the Oakland Hilton was new, the Oakland Marriott was new, and we can go on and discuss the other hotels that were built during that period. And many of you who watch my videos remember the Raiders parties that were held at a number of those hotels that were close to the Coliseum on game day, and the booster clubs that had their meetings at those same places on game day. If it wasn't places like that, it was either a bar or a restaurant in Oakland or San Leandro or parts of the East Bay, like, for example, Ricky's. And so Oakland and the East Bay have enjoyed two generations where the existence of professional sports has served as a catalyst for the construction of a number of buildings of different sizes, but many of them large. The Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, of course, and then, of course, the newly rebuilt, arguably built brand new Coliseum Arena in 1998, which went on to play host to what? The Golden State Warriors and the five-time NBA Finals appearing Golden State Warriors. And so think about during the Warriors NBA Finals run in Oakland, the number of restaurants that filled up to watch the game for people who didn't have a ticket, the fact that Lake Chalet, a restaurant started by Lauren Gar Trapelli, became a national household name because ESPN First Take held their shows at the Lake Chalet every morning during NBA Finals when the Warriors were in it. And that was a lot of days, and it netted them a lot of money. So sports, professional sports, major sports, not minor sports, have built Oakland, they've identified Oakland, and they have literally been ripped away from us because we didn't fight a good economic development fight. And unlike the first time when the Raiders went to Los Angeles and we had this dramatic effort to bring them back, which ultimately succeeded, this time we tried once with the Raiders, a lawsuit that was filed, but we didn't inexplicably join with St. Louis. So what happened? St. Louis sued for breach of contract. We sued for antitrust, a strategy that was a loser strategy that we tried before in 1982 and lost in court then. Why would you think it would work a second time? St. Louis walks away with $700 million. We walk away with nothing but losses. And we have to understand that We don't think of sports strategically. Mr. Greer, a common NFL team brings $156 million in annual economic impact to a city. The NFL itself is responsible for $5.2 billion in what's called ancillary economic impact among the 32 NFL cities that form the National Football League. There is no soccer team in the United States that can match that. None. It hasn't developed to that point, if it ever will. The NFL is a monster. It is identified as a league that owns a day of the week, Sunday. And that's been the case for a long, long time. And even in the hyper social media, digital media world of mobile and apps we have today, the NFL is still, in fact, it's more king in terms of media than it ever has been before. How does that benefit Oakland? Among, in addition to the ways I've already mentioned in terms of people coming and filling up restaurants and meetings and conventions and everything else, simple. Now, because of the presence of the internet and location and people wanting to be at the game but can't get there, so they want to follow what's happening on social media, it also benefits Oakland being the place where these things are happening. We have gotten rid of that. And unfortunately, we've had a number of people leave Oakland, and it seems that people who have come to Oakland to live or do more business in Oakland don't understand how sports, they don't tactically understand how sports has impacted Oakland. And so we're supposed to basically replace, excuse me, the National Football League with not even major first tier soccer, but second tier soccer. No, the way you do it, you start a sports commission so that you can do this. Go after both. That's what I'm talking about. A sports commission commonly bids on 220 sports events annually. And you're looking at the only person in Oakland history to have successfully started a sports commission. I did it in 1999. I started the Oakland Alameda County Sports Commission, and within it we had the Super Bowl 39 bidding committee, where we formed our bid to, and we nearly landed the Super Bowl and shocked the world when Oakland became one of 3 finalists, gained Oakland a ton of positive news that even Ignacio De La Fuente, who was the council president at the time, told me was the first positive news the Coliseum had had about anything in a very long time. No current sports organization that is in Oakland can match even what I did with the Super Bowl in terms of worldwide visibility at that time, just bidding on the Super Bowl. The NFL is an entity that Oakland cannot afford to lose because so much of our city has been literally built by the NFL because of the presence of the Oakland Raiders. To let that go away without a replacement is to do what's going on. We're losing money. We're basically at a place where we don't even use tax increment financing to pay our people who work for the city. Every weight has been placed on the general fund, and we've done nothing in terms of economic development to build the general fund. You can't build the general fund by building more housing. You have to build it with also businesses like manufacturing and also businesses that attract people like, well, sports tourism. So here we are in the middle of sports tourism, which has grown exponentially as a thing. Sports tourism as an idea didn't even exist 20 years ago. And we have a stadium that's NFL ready with modifications, an arena that's NBA ready and WNBA ready with modifications. And yet you mean to tell me they're empty and we're going to just let them sit there, need maintenance, which means you have to spend money, which means what? We're not making as much money as we can. So we're effectively coming closer to losing money than making money. I'm not saying we are, but I'm saying we could do much better if those facilities were refurbished or in some cases rebuilt and then done in partnership with an ownership group that wants to go after an NFL team or an NFL expansion team. And I'm not saying I'm ruling out baseball either, because we should have had a baseball expansion team proposal ready to go last year, but Oakland Mayor Shang Tao treated the commissioner incorrectly and did everything you shouldn't do as a mayor in working with Major League Baseball and it was a colossal disaster and a major league embarrassment that Oakland ought to be collectively concerned about. Instead, we've done nothing to clean it up. Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee needs to clean that up as well. We need to shore up our image in professional sports and not go small time. I'm asking people, stop this idea that we have to lose. Stop this idea that our past is just that. It comes when you build, and it comes when you figure out how to use finance or gain financing to make it happen. We can do it. The sad fact of the matter is that we just don't collectively do it. That needs to change. Mr. Greer, you're wrong. It's not either or, it's both. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com and NFL News by Zenny62.com. Thank you.